Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, welcome to McLeod Homestead. My name is Laura, and as you can see, I've got Christmas set up behind me. I've been watching one of my all-time favorite Christmas movies, It's a Wonderful Life. So as you can see, with the old movie, the festive lights, the whole holiday season, it gets me remembering and planning, because my father's side of the family is 100% Italian. So I'm sure, as you can imagine, as we were growing up, our Christmas Eves, we followed the Italian tradition. So we would have at least 7 fish dishes. No meat is allowed on Christmas Eve. And after you fill your belly full of good food, you have joyous time with the family, it was time to go to midnight mass. Get all excited. We'd come home from midnight mass. At the time, my father, he was on the fire department, so we always had the scanner going. And many times we would hear Santa sleigh bells coming over the scanner. It was always so exciting. A lot of times after mass, we'd come home, we'd get a little glass of eggnog. Not gonna lie, sometimes it had a little shot of brandy in it. I think my parents wanted us to sleep in longer. That usually didn't happen with me. I was usually one of the first ones up, waking everybody else up, and yeah, I just drove everybody nuts. Christmas has always been my most favorite holiday. And yes, I always, as a kid, enjoyed the presents, the whole 9 yards. But what I actually always enjoyed the most when I was growing up, and to this day, is the family coming together, and there's just some type of magical, peaceful feeling that comes over me on Christmas Eve. It always has. And I've always loved going to Christmas Eve Mass and listening to the beautiful music being sung and played on the organ, and just magical. It just always gave me, like I said, a very happy and peaceful feeling inside. And that is really why it's my favorite holiday. And while our families have gotten older and the family units have changed and people have moved farther away, we can't all be together, but I still always get that feeling, no matter what, inside of me on Christmas Eve. So the dish I am going to make tonight is one of my favorites. Now, it is a recipe you can go online and find all over the place. It is the main way you make calamari. I am going to deep fry my calamari tonight. It's not really complicated. It's actually not even a whole lot of time consuming. Many people do not like this dish because they say the calamari is too rubbery. It is only too rubbery if it is overcooked or and properly cooked. So let's head on into the kitchen and get set up and make us some fried calamari. I'm also going to do a little twist on this, and while I'm going to deep fry, for the healthier version, I think I'm going to pull down my air fryer, and we may try a couple pieces in the air fryer and see how those come out with the recipe that I use. So come on guys, let's get into the kitchen and get to cleaning up some squid. So here we are in my kitchen. I'm at my new butcher block. I love this. I had it made for me. It's on wheels so I can move it around. Works amazing. So what we will need right now for this first step is some milk that's in a bowl and our calamari. Now, I buy my calamari cleaned and deveined. So when I get it, it is already cut. So let me show you, because I buy them cleaned and deveined, this is the body of the squid, and these are the tentacles, the black vein, all that stuff has already been taken out of it, so I don't have to worry with that. So the first thing you do is you just rinse it off real good with some cool water, and then I stick mine in a strainer and let it drip for probably about a good half hour, 45 minutes. What you do is you just take your squid here and you just cut it into some nice size rings, and then you will just drop it into the milk. The reason why we will soak these rings and the tentacles in milk is for two reasons. One is because it breaks down the enzyme in it, so that way it tenderizes the calamari more. And the second reason is because when it breaks down that enzyme, it will also make it so the coating will adhere to it better. So what we will do is we will put this in the milk. We will set it in the refrigerator, not on the counter, and we will let it soak in the milk for at least a half hour. Now, some people do not use the tentacles. I absolutely do. What I will do is the same thing as mine. I cut in half to make them more bite-sized. And again, we will just toss it right in the milk. So I'm just gonna keep cutting a few of these up. I'm not doing a big round of these because it's just myself tonight for dinner. But oh man, I love these. But I am really gonna be enjoying my dinner tonight. Now see, this one, it actually is small enough. I'm not even going to cut it. I'm just going to soak it. So it's all a matter of preference on how big you want your bite sizes to be. So I'm going to stick this in the refrigerator. I'm going to set the Alexa timer for 30 minutes.
30 minutes, starting now.
And then I'm going to bring you guys back. So now that we are waiting for the calamari to soak in the refrigerator, we're going to put together the flour, which I have 1 cup of. I've got a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. I've got a 1/3 cup of corn. That's a 1/3 cup of cornstarch. And then for this next part, I just kind of throw a little bit of salt in, some pepper, and then for the final, a little paprika. Some people will use Cajun seasoning. I will not. And then we're just going to whisk this together, get it all mixed up really good. And we will wait. While I am waiting, I am going to get down my air fryer, and I am going to get my deep fryer to start preheating the oil to 350 degrees. So I'll see you back in a few minutes. All right, everyone. It's been a 1/2 hour, and normally I would just do this over the sink, but because of doing the video, I just want to show you how I do this. I take my calamari that's been soaking in the milk, and I just pour it all into the strainer. And I just give it a good shaking, and I let it drip for a couple minutes. Just to kind of get the excess milk off of it. You can let this sit and drain for a few minutes, but I want to get this made because Mama here is getting hungry. So the next step I am going to do, once I am satisfied with how much is, drained off the milk, I'm just going to take my bowl of flour and I'm going to dump it all right in. Now that we have it all in the flour, I'm just going to mix it all up, get everything good and coated. I want to try and get the insides of the calamari as well. So you can just kind of flip each one inside out after the one side, and you can leave them that way. As see, I just flip it and then coat it. The tentacles, just make sure that in between the legs is good and coated. Open up them tentacles. See that base right there? That has no flour. So let's dab it. Get it good and coated. now that I believe I have pretty much all the calamari covered, both inside and out, I take a clean colander here, and I just take and I will shake off the excess flour. That way we're not getting big balls of flour. And it gives you a chance to look at what you are going to cook and make sure that it is all coated nice. I'm going to throw a couple more on. And do this in small batches. Do not try to get in a hurry and cook these. You will find that you will get farther and it'll taste much better if you take and, I missed one, if you take and do small batches. So I'm just going to put these all in here and continue to shake off the excess flour. And then we will get ready because my oil is ready. As you can see, the green light is on my deep fryer. So the temperature is up to 350 degrees. I am going to take my basket and just set it on the edge here and put a handful, sprinkle a handful in. I just want to cover the bottom of that. The air fryer. So for the air fryer, we put them in there, spread them out so they're not touching each other. And then we just give them a spray with your cooking spray. And we will put these in the air fryer. We will put these in the air fryer at 400 degrees for 8 minutes. So we'll start that. Now our deep fryer, these will cook in about 3 to 4 minutes. One of the ways you can tell these are done is when they float. They will also become a golden brown color. Uh-oh, we fogged up. See them starting to rise up to the top of the basket? We lift up, they're starting to look nice and golden and brown. Now that these are done, I will just pick them up and I will let them sit on the edge there for just a minute. I've got a plate lined with paper towel and I will just dump them on so that way they can drain. All right, our air fryer just shut off. And these look nice and golden brown too. Let's dump them out onto the paper towel. All right, everybody. Now comes the time we have been waiting for. I've got a little marinara sauce. And I am just going to top both of these off with a little bit of juice from a lemon. Let's try one. Dip it in marinara. Mmm. Delicious. And as you can see, these are not super chewy. They are done perfectly. Mmm. Good with or without the marinara sauce. Now we're going to try an air fryer one. Almost as good, but I prefer the deep fried. These are still cooked perfectly. It's not super chewy, but they actually don't have as much of a crunch as the deep fried ones. Amazing. All right, everybody. I'm going to take this and go finish watching It's a Wonderful Life and eat my dinner. And I will see you on the next video. Toodles. Enjoy your holidays, everyone. And remember, give your family extra hugs and kisses. From me to you, Merry Christmas. I just love calamari. Love it, love it, love it!